Here we go. We are officially live. Check that out.
There we go.
There we go. We got it down on the first try. So what's up, y'all? Super hyped about this. Ben, what's up, man? Are you excited about this?
Dude, I'm hyped, man. I know we're trying to get it rolling here on Wednesday, but now that we got the technical difficulties out of the way, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. I think everyone else. I think all you guys are going to be hyped about this. So Ben, you crushed it last month. Just to introduce you here, man. $43,000 in commission. No big deal. No big deal. Haters will say it's fake, so you're gonna have to shoot them some screenshots of those pay stubs. But yeah, let me move this thing over here so we can get started on this. Let's introduce you, man. Like, tell us what it is, the offer that you're selling that helps you make $43,000 in a month in commissions. Because obviously that does matter, right? If you're a sales rep, like you've been on a handful of offers, you've done your own thing. And then I want to ask you some questions about your background in sales, which I'm sure other people are curious about. What's this guy been doing to get to this point? So what offer are you selling right now?
Yeah, so right now I'm on Thomas Berkeley's team with ATM Freedom University. So pretty much what we do is we actually install done for you ATM businesses for our clients. It's definitely been a really cool journey with them, kind of going from like the B2B market that I'm used to being in, and then now selling to more like just regular, like everyday people. But yeah, so that's been a really great offer to be a part of here for the last few months.
Hell yeah, man. What are the price points?
So the price points are anywhere from like 9,800 to like 55,000. So they're up there. It's a good price point.
That's a good price point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your past in selling, man. So this way, because I know when it comes to getting into selling online, high ticket products and services, it is a different game, and people come from all different backgrounds. And as you guys can see, Ben was an agency owner before, and then going full-time into selling. We'll talk about that here in a second. But what were you selling in the past? Like, where did your sales career actually start?
So it started, I'd say the first real sales job was with vector marketing. I was selling Cutco. So I was, selling to Mr. and Mrs. Jones for the summer. I think I was 18 years old when I was doing that. I was going into my freshman year of college. So that's when I got my first taste at sales. But it was funny because I never really looked at it like sales. I was like, yeah, just read the script and do this. And I ended up doing really well. They're like, yo, you're really good at this. I was like, that's cool. Went to a little conference in Connecticut to celebrate those wins with some of the other guys in the company. And it was cool. That was interesting.
Yeah, dude, door to door in general, like that will help you earn your stripes. If y'all haven't sold door to door and you've only sold high ticket products and services online or to the typical consumer, maybe you worked in retail or whatever, it's a different game as well. So how many years have you actually been selling?
So I guess, what is this, 4 years now? 4 years.
Of sales.
Yeah.
And what has been your biggest month in commission and your lowest month in commission?
Oh man. I mean, biggest month had to have been last month, with 43,000. That was insane. Worst month, maybe $500. Like the lows are low and the highs are high. I think that's what makes this like commission thing so interesting, because obviously the skill set plays into it, but as you start going to different offers, you kind of get a feel for what works better for you and the way that you communicate with people. So I think that it's been really interesting to see that transition over like the last year and then moving into this offer now.
So would you say you were good at sales when you first started? And I asked that because I was awful when I started in sales. So would you say you were good at sales?
No, I think what I was good at was just being a human with people, as simple as it sounds. Like I was just a little college kid, just, yeah, no, you want to buy these knives? They're $3,000. I don't know why anyone would pay $3,000 for knives, but you should do it. They loved it, I think the most interesting piece about that and that company is the fact that I didn't feel like I was selling and people didn't feel like they were being sold. Or at least from my perspective, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just reading off a script. I had a binder. I'd come in, shoot the shit for a little bit. And then next thing I know, they're, paying $3,000-4,000 for a set of knives.
That dude, it's a crazy game. And like, I personally love the stories around people that have sold door to door, because obviously I sold door to door as well. So it hits home, man. It's
I didn't even
almost
know that I was in sales. I didn't even know that I was in like a sales role. They're just like, yeah, you're just doing this. Like that's how good the company was at selling me on my job. I didn't
yeah.
even know I was doing sales until I was like, holy shit, I'm doing sales. Like it didn't feel like it.
So why did you leave being an agency owner? Because obviously you were selling full time, doing stuff like Cutco and probably some other sales shops in between. But why did you want to go into being an agency owner and running ads for other people, and then get out of that to selling full time? Like, what happened there?
I mean, yeah, it definitely wasn't just like one thing, but I think for me, there came a point where like everything that I was doing for the agency, 95% of it was front end sales, setting appointments, closing deals. And the only difference was I had the luxury of dealing with all the headaches on the back end too, which I'm sure you know that that would bleed into, yeah, exactly, bleeding into your performance on the front end. And like, we were doing okay. I think that our best month as a company was like 45 grand when I was running the agency. So, I mean, we got off the ground, some would say, but we didn't get much further than that. And for lack of better terms, I hated it. Everything about it. I woke up, I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't like my clients. I don't want to do this. It was a nightmare for like 2 years. And then finally, that was when I was a client of the sales agency, when I was running the business. And I remember I called up Mason. I was like, hey, I got to get out of this. What do I do? Hey, come work for us. And I was like, all right, man, set up the interview. Frank was like, hey, let's roll. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
That's freaking awesome, man. I love that. Well,
Yeah.
what makes okay, so you've seen the highs and lows of sales, right? And what makes a great sales rep in your opinion?
I'm gonna go with something that Frank actually told me when we were down in Nashville. And I kind of felt like I was going into a slow season. I said to him, I go, what am I doing wrong? He goes, you're doing everything right. You just don't sound like you're a human. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I listened to your last call. You don't sound like you're a human. Just be a human. And when I made that like conscious choice of like, hey, I'm just gonna be real with these people. Like, I'm not a sales guy. I'm just someone to help them out and get them to where they want to go. The dynamic of all my conversations changed so much because I'm able to apply pressure. I'm able to apply urgency without it feeling like I'm being a pushy sales guy. And I think that's what made the biggest difference for me. Just being a person. It's the easiest thing to do.
So simple and yet so difficult for so many people to do.
Right. Yeah. Everything doesn't sound super salesy. It's just, you're just having a conversation. They love it.
So, man, what was it then that made you like? What was the challenge you were running into before joining the Art of Sales Mastermind? And what was holding you down or slowing you up?
I think the biggest thing that was holding me back was I didn't understand how these conversations were meant to be. In my mind, I'm like, I'm a sales guy. I just need to collect the credit card and close the deal. That's it. That's all I knew. And obviously through working with Chad, through working with you and with Frank and Mason and even David, like just being able to understand what these conversations are meant to do. And the byproduct of that is the client paying and you signing a deal. Right. And the moment I was able to make that shift is when it started to change. Obviously, it wasn't an overnight thing. I've been training with you guys for what, a year now?
Yeah,
Over a year.
it's been a little over a year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been with you guys. So like just making those transitions into understanding why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Again, I don't think it's the most complicated thing in the world. I really don't. I think sales should be fun. I think it should be simple. And I guess I'm saying that now after coming off a really hot month and rolling into this month, doing pretty well too. But
You can share your numbers, bro. What are you going to do this month? How much you selling? How much you cash collecting this month? Just put it out there.
right now I'm at 173 on the month. I'll probably finish the month right around 320. I got a few handfuls cooking up.
That's beautiful.
Dropping tonight for.
I cut you off, bro. Keep going, man. I just wanted to hear. You got to flex on them a little bit, dude.
20, got 55 coming in Monday. Got a few deals that kind of signed off, just ready for those funds to hit. So
55,000 cash collected, in case anyone's wondering what that means when you say 55. So
yeah, 55,000.
Like when you start closing enough, bro, you start closing big enough deals. It's like on Wall Street, they call $1 million a stint. And it's like, yeah, I got 2 stints coming through today. You're over here like, that's when you say, yeah, I got 55. It's like, people got to know, like, it's a different stage.
Yeah. It's funny because you start to kind of get in your head a little bit though. For me, I'm like, oh man, anything less than 40,000 a month, like I ain't doing something right. Like that kind of became the new normal in my mind. So now it's just a matter of keeping my foot on the gas and chipping away at that over and over and over again. I think when I first joined this offer, I said to you, I'm going to do $1 million cash collected for Q4. So we're hunting.
It's
going
close, dude. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
I mean, based on those numbers, you should hit. You're going to be, yeah, you should be right
I'm
there.
at 500. I'm at 500 even right now.
Yeah.
I have 505,000 to clarify.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, so dude, how about this? What makes, so this is great for everyone to know too, because, so many people watching this want to get on an offer where they can make good money. And obviously, like you said before, depending on your season of life, like, and how you talk to a certain person, like that will obviously dictate your success a little bit on the offer. So what makes for an ideal scenario in a company for a sales rep to do really well?
Yeah. Well, I think that goes across the board where it's like the sales rep is responsible for a lot of it, but so is the business itself that you're working for. Because when they have such a high amount of success, like you don't very rarely do hear of stories where clients are not doing well, right? When you have that to lean on, and obviously just people seeing that and knowing about the company before they speak to you, definitely makes my job a little bit easier. However, I don't think that alone is going to do it. I think it's just a matter of being able to bridge that gap between what the clients think they know about the company versus what they actually will know about the company at the end of your conversation with them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And, I think that's definitely something that reps should be asking for in going into the interview, because sometimes you won't get it. And then business owners, should definitely have that. That's huge.
Yeah. There's definitely a big responsibility on the business owner there too.
Yeah, 100%. That's good advice. So what about the Art of Sales Mastermind? Like, what tools, strategies, or tactics did you pull out of the mastermind with us that helped enable you to make almost $50,000 in a freaking month?
I think the two biggest things for me is I like to speak a lot. And one of the problems that I was having with sales was I would always answer the prospect head on with just a statement. And with working with you and Chad, like you guys definitely helped me reframe the things that I was saying. So it wasn't like I was saying the wrong things, but I was miscommunicating it, if that's even a word. And it was just a matter of reframing those thoughts and those statements into questions that was getting me responses from the prospect to actually give them what they wanted. Not just what I wanted, but to actually understand where they were coming from and what they were thinking. Those call reviews are insane. Being able to hop on and actually have that feedback based on the conversation, because it's usually one or two little things that lost that deal. Especially with me, I'll make comments that will throw the deal sideways, and you got to figure out how to get it back. But those two things alone have been really helpful, and not to mention the community's sick in there. You drop the wins and everyone's going crazy. So I love.
Yeah, that is pretty dope to watch.
I love those guys. I love every single person in there. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And I love that you bring that up, because, age plays a huge part in the sales game, in the sense that there's different levels of experience, life experience that people have. And you can only have so much life experience in your young 20s. And you just received the information really well from having coaches that are not in their 20s anymore. To be able to pull from that life advice into your sales calls can make you a lethal weapon.
Oh, yeah.
You can shorten the amount of years it takes you to have that level of maturity to resonate with so many different demographics. That makes you a lethal weapon.
Yeah, it's really cool because, whenever I speak to people, like, for example, when I speak to teachers, I'm like, oh, my parents are teachers too, and I'm able to kind of pull things from my life and what I know to be true into those conversations. And obviously being able to get different backgrounds and perspectives from you, from Chad, Frank, everyone else, like it's something that I definitely would not be able to do on my own. I don't know this stuff, right? And then you guys make me more aware of it.
Dude, that's beautiful. So tell us about your experience in the Art of Sales Mastermind. When you came in, which was like a little over a year ago, versus like what it's like now, right? Because I see you posting all the different wins in there. Like every time you crush a fat piff, a little fatty 55. It's like when you do that kind of stuff, it's different than when you first started. So like, what's the experience been from day one to now?
I think that at this point, I've just gotten really, really comfortable with the people who I'm working with. Like I used to be really, really nervous to have people listen to my calls. Like that's one thing I was like, I don't want to do that. It's embarrassing. I botched that deal. I don't want people to listen to that. But then you realize like that's the only way that you're going to get better. So just that level of comfort and understanding that the people around you, they all want the same thing. The people listening to the calls, they get a lot of value from it too, because they're not making the same mistake that you might have made. And also the community, seeing the community grow over time has been sick. Like when I came in, it wasn't really like this dynamic of just celebrating all these wins as frequently as we are. But when you have a ton of reps who are doing really, really well, and everyone is just going after it and trying to beat each other, but it's so healthy. Like it's really, really cool to see.
Nice, dude. Yeah, it fires me up when I see y'all go crazy in there, wild out. So
Oh, yeah.
who would you recommend the sales agency to and the Art of Sales Mastermind?
Literally any rep that not only wants to level up the skill set, I feel like that is a no-brainer. Like the amount of feedback and value that you're going to get from that alone is phenomenal. But also the fact that these people that you're around are genuinely good people who just want to win. Like I've never seen such an ethical group of salespeople, which is crazy. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the things that people ask in the chat. The way that these deals go down, it's always so clean. And that's what I love about it. Because I have clients to this day who text me literally every single day, half of them wishing me a happy Thanksgiving before I reached out to them. They're like, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Like, that's how you knew you did the sale right. You know what I mean? And I hear the stories from all the other, people inside AOS and all the other reps. Man, just phenomenal people to be around.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Yeah, I love that. And I hope we get more people in the community like you, like that. And especially after people watch this, man, it's the good, bad, and the ugly. Like sales ain't the perfect, straight up like bar graph. Like it's a roller coaster. And then you find yourself in positions after a lot of experience like Ben's in right now. And so, dude, where can people find you if they want to follow your sales journeys? I know you post a lot about sales, different advice, different things about the offer that you're also selling right now. Where can people go find you?
Yeah, you guys can add me as a friend here on Facebook. That's for sure. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's just Ben Hawkeiser. I'll drop it in the comments too when I pull up the live myself. So I'll make sure that you guys have access to that if you just want to shoot me a message and shoot it, whatever you guys want to do. Beautiful.
All right, man. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your day to hop on this, man, and share your experience with us. And I know you got shit to do. So, this is cool, man. And for anybody else watching this, looking forward to seeing y'all in the Art of Sales Mastermind, which, we'll link somewhere around this video so you can check it out, hear about all the community and all the building of all these different sales talent that Ben was talking about. And Ben, keep kicking ass, man. Maybe we'll do another when you hit 100K in commissions in a month.
Hey, we're going to make it happen. I appreciate you for having me.
Definitely, man. All right, later, y'all.